This is the AEW Collision December 2nd, 2023 full show results video which takes place at the Erie Insurance Arena in Erie, Pennsylvania. The show started the Blue League match in the Continental Classic Tournament which happened between Brody King vs Claudio Castagnoli, and the result of this match was Brody King defeated Claudio Castagnoli via pinfall when both traded back on their feet, some reversals, and King got the big piledriver for a 2 count, then he picked him up and then hit a lariat and that was enough. Backstage promo from Jon Moxley saying maybe the last 4 years are finally catching up to him. His head hurts, his back hurts, now his knee hurts, and his fingers are tingly all the time. He lives in pain on a day-to-day basis, his head isn't screwed on straight lately either, with doctors prescribing him a lot of different medication. He says he's going to win the Continental Classic, he wants to feel the connection with the audience, that's what AEW is all about. Somebody has to step up and win this tournament and show what AEW is and what it can be. No one in the tournament can do anything to him more than what he fights on a daily basis. No one can be harder on him than the demons he fights daily, but if someone thinks they can, go ahead and take a shot. The next match happened between Abaddon vs Kiera Hogan, and the result of this match was Abaddon defeated Kiera Hogan via pinfall. The lights went out, and when they came back up, Julia Hart was in the ring. Abaddon turned to her and Hart seemed just fine with the confrontation, and the lights went out again and when they came up, Hart was gone. Samoa Joe was interviewed, and he's quickly interrupted by Roderick Strong, who says he's willing to forgive him for trying to break his neck not once but twice. But he wants to warn him that this is clearly a trap, and Adam Cole says he likes Joe and is a fan of his, so that makes them best friends by proxy because Strong is Cole's best friend. Strong said Wednesday is just a setup and his goons are just going to beat the crap out of him. He's probably plotting right now, and asked Joe, "Are you listening to me?" Samoa Joe just laughed and walked off. Then we saw another Blue League match which happened between Daniel Garcia vs Andrade El Idolo, and the result of this match was Andrade El Idolo defeated Daniel Garcia via pinfall when Andrade went for figure 8 but Garcia reversed and managed to get the sharpshooter, but Andrade somehow gets him off and rolls through, and hits a flatliner to win the match. Willie Mack cuts a promo on Wardlow, saying he didn't like what he did to AR Fox and he wants him in a match next week. The next match happened between the Kingdom vs Iron Savages, and the result of this match was the Kingdom defeated Iron Savages by pinfall. After, Roderick Strong, of course, hopped into the ring and kicked Boulder before bailing back out to his chair. Ethan Page requested some interview time, and he says ever since he lost to MJF in Canada he has had to regroup and refocus his energy and efforts, and he's gotten into the best physical shape of his life. So he's here to make a challenge and check off a bucket list thing, and he wants to be the King of Canada, and if he wants that he's going to need a crown, but right now that crown is sitting on someone else's head, so he wants Kenny Omega. The next match happened between House of Black vs Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels, and the result of this match was House of Black defeated Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels via pinfall when Black hit his black mass on Daniels. The lights went out while they were in the ring celebrating. When they came up, FTR's music hit and they walked out. Black grabbed a mic and said he assumed the both of them were here because they were joining the House of Black. They strike him as family men, and the only people who have been there for them for a long time now have been the House of Black. Malachi says he's done many things, but not once has he told a lie. Black puts the mic down on the mat and steps back, and Dax Harwood walks forward like he's going to grab it and Matthews rocks him, revealing the setup. Cash Wheeler attacks, but he too gets laid out, and House of Black stands tall. Toni Storm is in haste, and she has no time for an interview with Renee Paquette. She says she was interrupted by Sky Blue at her ceremony and she has advice for her, walks backward because the only time people pay attention to her is when they're taking pictures of her behind. Sky Blue cuts a promo saying Toni Storm is in a midlife crisis and none of what she has is going to stop her from taking the championship from her. She'll have her chin up, her tits out, and she's going to kick Storm's ass. The next match happened between El Hijo del Vikingo vs Kip Sabian, and the result of this match was El Hijo del Vikingo defeated Kip Sabian via pinfall. After, Vikingo offers his hand to Sabian and Kip refuses to shake it. Weirdly, they cut to backstage literally just after Kip stormed off. Keith Lee is interviewed backstage, and he is interrupted immediately by Shane Taylor, who says they didn't settle things last time and they need to have a rematch at Final Battle and show the world. Lee immediately accepts the challenge. CJ Perry interviewed backstage. Before she can speak, Miro rolls up trying to get into Andrade El Idolo's dressing room, but Perry stops him. She tells him he picked his god, and she has chosen her path, but please, if there's any love that he has for her, please let her do this. Please let her find her own way, and if she means anything to him, don't lay a hand on her client. He says his God is gone. If he was still with him he would be in the tournament ripping Andrade's spine out, but he does promise not to lay a hand on her client. In the main event of the show, we saw another Blue League match which happened between Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston, and the result of this match was Bryan Danielson defeated Eddie Kingston via pinfall after hitting Psycho-Knee to finish it. Danielson celebrates by going outside the ring, finding a fan with a sign that says Eddie is a bum and taking it into the ring, and the show goes off the air.